Ladies and gentlemen, oh baby, it just feels so good to be back. It feels so good to be here with the squad, with the team, and to know that we have an entire week ahead. Yes, traders, it is Monday, getting ready for this big November, as I think a lot of you guys can tell right now. And it's because it's been a little quiet so far in this November, and I want to make sure that our trades are all set here, ready to rock and roll in just a second. And boom, boom, boom. All right, we are ready to go. Let's have ourselves a day, huh? Let's get ready to do some big trades, some big action, and really what it comes on down to is right now GLTO. Everyone take a look at my screen right here. Everyone see GLTO has gone absolutely explosive. Finally, we are getting some action. Finally, November is waking on up. Because the last week straight, November was a little bit quiet. Now, why was it so quiet? Well, we had a few different reasons. Number one, it was earnings season. All companies are focused on the quarterly reports. Number two, the S&P 500 was fading and falling and dropping. So we really didn't see that much from, again, the smaller cap plays when the big guys are getting absolutely destroyed. But right here, we woke up 7 a.m. and GLTO started a mission. It said, we are going to spike nearly 500% on the day. GLTO went from 511 and shot all the way up towards around $26. Now, you might say to yourself, well, Dek, how do you get this? How do you see this? For anyone that trades with me every single morning, I start my live stream up at around like 6:45 in the morning. Now, you can either trade with me, you can have Fox Hunter, you can have trade ideas, whatever it could be, but it's so simple and so easy. I want to make sure you guys are all aware of it. Number one, what do we have here? Well, if you know or do not know, hot news starts produced at 7 a.m. So every morning, 7 o'clock will be the first big hot press release wave. News equals a reason for people to buy. When people see that a stock comes out with a partnership, when NVIDIA partners, or again, Tesla partners with someone, you could see a big time breakout. If you see you have positive phase trials, if you see that you have positive cancer results, if you see you have positive whatever results, you could see a big time breakout. When you see that you have approval or you have a contract or you've been granted or whatever, there is a set of keywords that lead to big time spikes. So 7 o'clock, take a look over on the scanner. What are we seeing? What are we realizing? GLTO comes out with a big press release, comes out with a big time move, big time rip, and big time run. Now, we can actually see GLTO, right, comes on out with its press release. Stock is up 281% right now, but we can actually see this alerted. Let me go right here. GLTO right here. GLTO has an acquisition, announces an acquisition of Dekmar Therapeutics. So when you acquire something, why would this lead to such a big time breakout? Why would this lead to such a big time spike? Why would this lead to such a big time run? Well, really what it comes on down to is when you acquire another company, you are gaining their employees, you are gaining their assets, you are gaining their revenue streams. So whenever you see the word acquisition or whenever you see the word acquire or anything along those lines, you are already going to know right away, hey, the stock is most likely going to move up, because it's not like you acquire something and then the stock would go on down. Your company is becoming more valuable, right? It would be like the same exact thing. Imagine if you were eating food. Imagine you have a 10-pound steak in front of you and you ate that 10-pound steak. Well, the way math would put it would be that if you weigh 200 pounds and you eat a 10-pound steak, you now weigh 210 pounds. If you are a company and you acquire another company, well, now your company's value is worth more. It's very simple. This should not be confusing in any sort of way. So the thing is, when we see that GLTO announces the acquisition right here, obviously the stock is now going to be moving on up. GLTO started absolutely exploding on the upside. Stock went from, again, from the 7 o'clock in the morning, goes from $5 and rips and runs to $26. Huge. Now, the thing is, it just comes down to preparation. I'm a big fan of preparation. I'm a big fan of knowing, hey, you know what? If you prepare, you should be able to succeed. So if you saw this at 7 o'clock, you got an amazing entry. $5 all the way up towards $9. If you saw it at 7:01, 7:02, 7:03, if you guys are awake at 7:05, 7:07, if you're here at 7:10, if you're here at 7:12, you have 10, 12 minutes to get involved on this play and still get a whole second half of the stock all the way on up. So right now at this time, let's try to figure out what we want to do next on GLTO, because we already know it had a 7 o'clock press release, right? We already know that. We know, again, GLTO is the leader of all stocks with hot press releases, with hot breakouts. GLTO has, again, that one-star word. What's that word? Acquisition. Acquisition is highlighted for us because, again, when you acquire something, you bring a lot of hype, you bring in a lot of momentum. So acquisition, or to acquire a play, is going to be something that you definitely want to be on top of. Just like when you receive something, you want to be on top of. Just like when you have positive phase 2 data, you want to be aware of it. So that's why, again, the keywords, the highlights are so important. It brings your eyes to them immediately, and you could be able to see these plays and be aware of them the moment they start going on those big time breakouts and the moment they start going on those big time spikes. So, traders, let's see. What is the next possible move we can do over on GLTO? Because for anyone who does not know, when you have a stock that goes on this big of an explosive move and you have a stock that's up 305%, it's most likely going to stay the relevant play throughout the morning. Before I, again, do a deep dive on GLTO, though, let's just be aware VERO is trying to get a little bit of action right here. It's not the biggest play in the world, but again, this one did come out with a press release right around 7:30. You could see right here, VERO, 7:30, 3-star press release, currently at 49%. What happened? It did have the word receives. What is it receiving? Well, it is receiving 510K for the Venus on its treatments. When you receive something, it's usually pretty good. You're receiving an award, you're receiving money, you're receiving approval, so for your treatments. So they're receiving this 510K approval for them to go ahead and work on their treatments. People like to see that. It's a low float stock. VERO starts going on a big time breakout and a big time move. So right now, again, just going forward, making sure that everyone is all set, ready to go. Number one play, GLTO. We also do have IFRX, or excuse me, VERO, and then we do have IFRX right here with its positive phase 2 trial starting to move on up. Now, this is another play that came out at 7:30 in the morning as well when we're taking a look over on IFRX, and this one is starting to break on out. So let's actually take a look over on IFRX at this moment because, ladies and gentlemen, we're starting to get a little bit of movement. Not that big. Again, IFRX, guys, it is up pretty good, or was up pretty good. It's 63 million in flow. I would rather, again, focus on VERO, to be honest. But I could see IFRX getting a little hype. I could see IFRX trying to get a little bit of momentum right here. We'll keep this one on the back burner right now. Let's continue to keep our focus over on GLTO at this moment and try to figure out a game plan. Now, for anyone who does not know here, traders, there is always, in my mind, 3 different ways that you could be able to get involved on a play. 3. That's what I always think of. Every single time I trade, every single time I get involved into a play, I always say to myself, there are 3 different ways. And those different ways are going to be, number 1, you buy first. This means, again, if you want to be the person that is buying first, you are getting the run-up. You were awake at 7 o'clock. You were using Fox Runner. You, again, saw the news. You guys had the confidence to jump in. GLTO, number 1. You guys got filled. The stock went on a very big rip and run. Stock started spiking and moving its way on up, right? That's the first area to get filled right here. And that's an absolute great area because guess what? You would have been able to make a shit ton of money today. This stock has gone from $5 and again spiked up to $25. If you guys had a $5,000 trading account today and you purchased right when the news came on out, you would have been able to make $20,000. Yes, you guys could have made $20,000. You guys could have quadrupled your account today if you woke up a little earlier, if you had Fox Runner, if you guys, again, were watching the scanners over on Trade Ideas, if you guys follow me over on Twitter, because, again, or X, whatever you guys want to call it, because I also, again, like to always throw out great alerts on X over on StockTwits. So, again, this morning, GLTO, I posted this alert. This alert, guys, was at 7:03 a.m. So I always like to try to give, again, a lot of alerts for free off for you guys. So even if you guys are not part of our community, I still can help you. That's what I want. I want to be able to help you. I want to be able to see you guys can become the best trader you could be. So this is the number 1 area to buy. Now, what's the number 2 area to buy? The number 2 area to buy is going to be on the short side. So again, first area to make money, buy. Buy right when the hot news comes on out. Second area to buy is going to be short. Now, what do I mean by short? Bet against the company as the stock comes up to a top. The best way to know that a top is going to happen is the upper shadow. Upper shadow is going to be the long upper wicks. It's like a black line that comes out on top. It shows that the stock spiked and didn't have enough strength. You could see a little upper wick right here as well where we did get a reversal. Upper wick right here where we had a big reversal. So again, a lot of times waiting for the upper wick to form, then seeing a reversal could be a great time to go ahead and pull the trigger on the downside and say, you know what? I think the stock's getting weaker. I think the stock's going to fade. I think the stock could be able to continue to fade and fall. Now, what's the last area to be able to get filled? The last area is going to be a dip buy. We know the stock spiked up nearly 410% on the day. So if we spike up 410%, there's most likely going to be a dip buy opportunity. There's going to be too many traders at this time that are interested on the stock to say, hey, you know what? Let's leave it completely alone. Let's let shorters have it. There's a great chance that this can move its way back up to 21, 22, 23, 24 and start again getting some sort of dip buy potential. And the reason why I say that is because this is clear cut the number one top gainer on the day. Stock has gone from $5, shot up towards again $26, back on down towards $17, and now it's sitting right around that $20 region. If I had again figure out what do I like or what do I dislike about this play right here, I would be saying I think we have very strong bottom support right around $17.90-ish, right underneath $18. Now the reason why I say that is because past chart history pattern. We bounced most recently right around $17.90, $18. We bounced again about 10 minutes ago at this area. You guys can see we also have some old top resistance. Now, if that cracks and falls, we do have a little bit like of a second layer all the way down towards around that 1670-ish mark. So we could definitely take a look over on that. And then I also see that we have a lot of trouble getting back above $20. Would you guys not agree right here? We definitely have some trouble getting back above that $20 region. You guys could see at this moment, we spike above $20, we come back on down. We hit $20, we come back on down. We hit $21.50, we came back on down. Here's again $20, we came back on down. So it seems like at this moment, we're inside this little tight channel. Now, what else I want to throw on is maybe the VWAP indicator. Go over to the indicators, click again the VWAP, make sure that we're all set. We could all see the VWAP is down towards around that 1758 mark, right? So we want to see if that play can maybe get a little bit of hype. That play could get a little bit of momentum, and that one could start again squeezing its way on up. So again, we do have GLTO, high watch and high alert. We do have at this moment, what else, guys? We have IFRX. IFRX is still trying to build. It's not the greatest play in the world. Do I think you should be aware of it? 100%, but it's not anything insane. And then VERO, unfortunately, is starting to fade and fall here just slightly. Yeah, so that one's starting to give a lot on back. So GLTO right now, traders, is the clear-cut number one top gainer on the day. Now, ladies and gentlemen, for everyone that's just tuning in on this Monday morning, if you guys watch me every single Monday over on StockTwits, or if you guys are just watching for the first time, again, make sure you smash that thumbs on up. Hit that thumbs on up right here and right now. Share this link, subscribe. Make sure you guys, again, comment. Get yourself excited because, again, it is going to be an absolutely amazing day. I am absolutely jacked up. So excited to be here, working with each and every single one of you and making sure that we're coming out on top, making sure that you guys win, making sure that you guys are being the best traders that you guys can be. Oh, it's going to be a day. It's going to be a day. So we also have a couple things, of course, we got to be able to go over. Government shutdown might be coming down to an end. That's good news, right? We obviously, again, if the government shutdown comes down to an end, that's going to be awesome. People are going to be excited about that. And we want to see IFRX here. What I also want to do real quick, traders, is I want to see, is IFRX at this moment, what are the shares to short? Are they expensive? Let's see here, guys. IFRX, are the shares to short expensive? Or not, GLTO, excuse me. GLTO, let's say I want to short 1,500 shares. I inquire about shorting 1,500 shares, locate 1,500 shares, locate the cheapest amount, and for me to short 1,500 shares will cost me $30. That's not that bad at all, guys. $30 for me to short 1,500 shares. Now, the thing is, let's do the math here. This stock has gone from $5 to $26. Every 1,000 shares, right, would be a $1,000 profit. 1,500 shares would be a $1,500 profit if I short this play or if I bought it. So, for instance, if I short at $18 and it goes down to $17, I make a $1,500 profit. If it goes from 17 to 16, I make a $3,000 profit. If I buy the stock and it goes from 18 to 20, that's a $3,000 profit. So the thing is, today's a day that you can make so much money on a stock like GLTO. And the reason why is because it's already moved. I mean, guys, we went from $5 to $26. We already moved 21 bucks. What are the odds that you jump in and you'll see a dollar move? What are the odds you'll jump in and again, you would see a dollar crash or maybe you see a dollar spike? The odds are very high because if a stock is moving $21, it means the volatility is there. So right now, team, GLTO is still getting weaker. GLTO at this moment just cracked its first main support line of $18. Now it's cracking underneath the VWAP. And now it looks like it's coming all the way back on down to 1665. Deck, how low could this go if this gets ugly? The safest area is always go to $5 increments. So if you're saying, Deck, I want the safest area possible. I don't want to look up hash chart history pattern. I just want what is the safest area to look for a dip buy. It's always $1, $5, $10, $15, $20, $25. $5 increments are usually great areas to always look for dip buys or bounce plays. Always are great areas to look for support and resistance. So if you start seeing GLTO start getting a little bit of a crash and start getting a little bit of a dump, that's going to be a great area for you guys to be able to make money. Guys, COGT I think just got acquired though. Let me, I think COGT, little heads on up. I don't think that one's going to be one that's going to be spiking very big. I think that got purchased at a certain price. No, COGT right here, that actually just came out live. So again, COGT just got unhalted, did have positive phase 3 drug results. So again, COGT is unhalted, did just come out with positive phase 3 drug results at this time. Let's keep this one on watch to see if this one can maybe start getting a little bit of a spike, huh? So it's always, guys, I love mornings like this. Like, I love mornings like this where all of a sudden, you know, we could start seeing, you know, big time breakouts, because GLTO really set the tone right there. And what I mean is, you know, GLTO says, hey, we have a 500% spiker. Now maybe COGT is going to start getting hype. Maybe now again we could see VERO or IFRX or whoever start getting some more hype and get more attention. So the thing is, you know, traders, we always just want to make sure we're staying aware and staying alert. Now, we do have right now 7:48 in the morning. We're understanding again there are a few plays out there at this time, but I also want to take a second and talk about kind of a broader view, the S&P 500 at this moment. The S&P 500 having a little bit of a pullback at this time. I'm hoping we keep going up even higher. Now, the reason why I hope we go up even higher is because I'm actually in on a trade right now, team. This was over on a one-stop prop. I jumped in on the S&P 500 at, before the market closed on Friday. So I actually jumped in at a very low area. Right now, I'm actually up $5,702. So this was an amazing swing trade. So again, this is over on the prop firm. Again, this is a funded account. I get to keep 90% of what I make. I keep 90% of what I make. And right now I'm up $5,702. So basically I'm going to be walking away with like $5,000, you know, after I sell this one on off. So right here, team, I want to talk about this. When we take a look over on the S&P 500, I was able to get in right next to an overall great bottom area. Now I saw something that was so great that I want you guys to be fully aware of here. So again, definitely check this on out at this moment. Scroll on back at this time. There's again COGT positive phase 3, IFRX positive phase 2, and then of course we have, you know, GLTO. But if you guys scroll back, if you guys go over to the news alerts tab, scroll on down to the bottom. This is what is so crucial right here, team. And this is great if you're a swing trader, if you're an options trader, if you're a long-term investor. What I did to make $5,000 over the weekend was the same exact thing that I did when I bought in on Monday, April 7th on the S&P 500. This year is one of my best years ever for stock trading. And you might say, Deck, what do you mean? You're not making, again, 50 grand a month right now, you know, doing your day trades. So how are you having such a great, you know, year? Because my long-term investments have been absolutely on fire. Traders, stick with me. Let me show you exactly what I mean. So it says, did the S&P 500 just have the best dip buy that we can have? So it says, what are indicators in stocks? First things first, guys, I don't want to go over everything too much, but again, indicators. As we know, trading indicators are mathematical calculations that are going to be on a chart based off price, based off moving averages, based off whatever. We all use different indicators for different reasons. So what is the 50-day moving average? The 50-day moving average is going to be a technical indicator on the averaging past over the past 50 days. 50-day moving average, 200-day moving average, these are going to be the most popular. People always ask me this question. They say, Deck, what are, or excuse me, they basically say to me right here, ladies and gentlemen, I am so sorry. I don't think you guys have saw me this entire time. No one said, hey, Deck, your camera's not on. Hey, good looking, where are you? I just realized again my camera wasn't on. I'm smiling. I'm looking at the camera for the last, again, 15 minutes. I'm acting like, again, I know everything that's happening here. I'm, again, showing off the pearly whites here today. I'm looking good. Fresh shave. We're getting eyebrows tweezed. We're looking absolutely fantastic, and no one wants to say, hey, can you grace us with, again, your presence? I'm here, baby. Okay, let's lock it in now. So, right now at this moment, we, again, know 50-day moving average. We are looking at it. Now, again, this is huge, okay? Let me take a step back right now at this moment just because I want to make sure that we're all good. But the number one question I get, probably a top 3 question I get, honestly, in stock trading is what are the best indicators to use? Now, people say, are there any super secret indicators Wall Street traders are using that I don't know about? People always ask that question. They say, is there any sort of indicator that, again, is like that Wall Street knows that I do not know? No. If you want to use the best indicators in stock trading, use the indicators that every single trader uses. You know why? Because why do stocks move up? People buy them. Why do stocks go down? People sell them. That's why stocks move. Because the public, because institutions, because hedge funds, because Wall Street, they buy it. It's the only way stocks move up in value when they increase their worth by money being put into it. So we need to think about it in a larger scale. Think about it psychologically. If everyone is using the same exact indicators, those indicators are going to have the most influence. They're going to have the most strength. If someone ever comes up to you and says, hey, let me sell you a super secret indicator, only the best of the best Wall Street traders use it, I can absolutely guarantee that no one on Wall Street uses it, because no one's using indicators that no one else uses, because it has no influence. It has no power. It has no actual reversal. But, it can't do anything. Okay? So the thing is, what are the indicators that you guys should use? Use the ones that are boring, that you know of. The 50-day moving average and the 200-day moving average. Now, let me show you exactly why. So what do indicators ultimately do? Like, what's the point of them? To make this simple, investors use indicators to see where stocks tend to reverse. When a stock is under a certain indicator and moves up to the indicator's price, that specific indicator will most likely hold up as resistance. This is where we would see more selling and more shorting. When a stock falls down to an indicator, that specific price is most likely going to be holding up as support. So if we're underneath the 50-day moving average and we run up and hit it, it most likely holds up as resistance, or we have selling and shorting. If we're above it and we fall down to it, that price is most likely going to hold up as support. So traders, take a look at the chart right here. Notice what we've had. This blue squiggly line is the 50-day moving average. Now, this is on the daily chart. You guys can go to the daily chart on your scanners, on your trade ideas, and you guys can go ahead and take a look right here. And you can see bounce play, 50-day moving average, bounce play, 50-day moving average, bounce play, 50-day moving average. If you're sitting here right now and saying, Dek, how did you jump in over on the S&P 500? How are you sitting right now with a $5,702 profit? That's all I did. I was looking at the daily chart and I said, you know what? On Friday, we came on down to the 50-day moving average, and I started seeing this little lower shadow. I am expecting that the market's going to start moving its way back on up at this point. I am expecting that overall influence of this chart that shows multiple bounces in the past, even back here. Even back here, you guys can see bounces in the past. Now, it's not every time. Yes, you do get a drop underneath it, but it's most of the time, and it's going to give you guidance. Now, a lot of people could also say, well, Dek, how else does this work? Well, the larger the time frame, the more likely the strategy will work. So, for example, if you guys go back to a monthly chart and look at the 50-month moving average, guess what's going to happen? You guys see? Over the past 15 years, the 50-month moving average has been the best entry on the S&P 500. No doubt about it. No argument. If you're going to give me any attitude, click that red X and get the heck out of here. Because I'm right. Traders, for anyone that's wondering, I bought in on the S&P 500. I literally have my entire list of stocks right here. And what this list is, I have Apple, I have Meta, I have Microsoft, I have Netflix, I have Nvidia, I have Oklo, I have Palantir, I have Uber, I have VST. I bought in on every single one of these back on Monday, April 7th, aka the lowest point of the year. Now, I got a little lucky that it was the actual lowest day, but I knew it was going to be around here. Because if you go over to a monthly chart, keep on that 50-day moving average, it automatically turns into the 50-month moving average. And notice what you have here, the perfect bounce of 2025. And also took a look back in 2022. Remember when we were raising interest rates? Remember when we had fear of inflation? Where was the perfect bounce play? Perfect bounce play was off the 50-month moving average. Do you guys remember back in 2020 where we all had to stay indoors and everyone thought the world was going to end? Guess what happened? Where was the perfect bounce play? Off that 50-day moving or 50-month moving average. 2018, we raised interest rates. Where was the perfect bounce play? Off the 50-month moving average. So on and so forth. I want you guys to see at this time, there are clear-cut areas where you can always get the best dip buy. So for me to have one of my best years ever on my long-term investments right here wasn't luck. I saw, again, we had Terra Fear. The market started fading and falling. And again, I jumped in as we came on down towards around these bottoms and we started moving our way on up. It was absolutely amazing. It was absolutely incredible. I did it live. I literally have emails. I literally have the live streams of us jumping in on Monday, April 7th, if you don't believe me. On top of that here, traders, again, we have this perfect dip buy because this is a smaller time frame. Remember, smaller the time frame, the less strength there will be. When you look at something on the 1 minute time frame, it's very nimble. It's very, you could break it easily. When you go back to a monthly time frame, that is the Great Wall of China. That thing is not going down anytime soon. So you can always see, all right, daily, we could definitely get some great dip buys. Weekly, monthly, absolutely incredible. But this is why we use the 50-day moving average or maybe the 200-day moving average, because those are going to have the most influence. So again, when we take a look over on the S&P 500 right here, we could see great dips, great opportunities. Right? That's what we're always going to be focusing on, traders. With every single entry that we get ourselves involved in, we use indicators to help us find different reversal areas. It's one big psychological game. Does that make sense, everyone? So I want to make sure that you guys are all set understanding that. So moving forward, we are becoming the best traders that we could possibly be here. So it's always great to be able to get that knowledge. It's always great to be able to have that education. It's always great to be able to have that understanding. Now, let's bring this back on over. We got about a minute and a half here, traders. Let's just go through over this next minute and a half, and let's just make sure we are not missing anything. Actually, let's go back to our news here because I don't want to miss if we do get another hot press release in the next 1 minute. So let's actually just explain this. So again, everyone's all good. I like to make sure every single trader is ready to rock and roll on this day. So what do we have? What is going to be coming on up? Right now is currently 7:59 in the market. Now, in the next 55 seconds, we are going to be seeing brand new press releases come on out, just like we saw GLTO come on out, right? We had, again, GLTO came on out with the press release at 7 a.m. Stock went on an explosive move. What has this all stream been about? News equals people buying. If you catch news early, you will be in earliest. I'm talking $5, $6, $7 before the run up towards $26. Same exact thing if you take a look over on IFRX. If you notice the news at, again, 7:30, you're getting in near a bottom. So what do we want to realize? We want to realize that news comes on out in the next 30 seconds. There will be keywords that I like to look at. These are going to be words that are going to be highlighted for us. Positive, breakthrough, top line, cancer, success, significant. These words are going to have the best influence. There's also going to be star words. Star words are going to be great. If you see a 3-star press release, there's usually, again, a good solid press release word in there, such as positive phase 3 trials. I also do have at this moment my float set 0 to 20 million. So basically, I'm getting the hottest press releases right now with, again, stocks with hot keywords that could easily go on very big spikes. So for instance, MDGL presents new demonstrating data significantly improving its testing. MDGL has a chance of possibly going on a nice spike and rip and run right here. Let's just put this on the MDGL, see if this one starts moving its way on up. Now, obviously, that's a little bit more of an expensive play, but at the same time here, traders, let's just stay ready. We also do have the word agreement. JAKK has the word agreement. JAKK. Anything, again, agreement press release, 1680 to 1740. We're seeing which ones are going to start getting the momentum. PLUR talks about, again, agriculture collaboration. Let's find the one that, again, the buying volume is going to go through. Let's find the one that, again, everyone's going to start jumping in and start kind of going crazy. ACPX has a new publication of, again, phase ACPX. Want to see, again, what stock is going to start getting that hype. If you guys see something coming across the top gainer board, throw it on out there. Right now, PLUR up 15%, talking about food and agriculture collaboration, a.k.a. a partnership. A lot of news at 8 o'clock, as you guys see. A lot of news. MDGL. Again, MDGL is a great play. It's just too big. $494, right? MDGL. Yeah, that one's just a little too expensive for us. At the same time here, let's see if anything else is going to start taking on off. Looking for that big spiker. PLUR still looks like it's the best play as of now. We have publication over on ACXP. Let's just make sure we're not missing anything. ACXP still trying to grind. I always like to kind of go through, see if there is going to be any sort of big rip and run. LOOP, quick little pop on up. LOOP. Let's see if anything, again, keeps on spiking. Gets ready to go. But again, we just always have to be aware of it. Yeah, LOP was kind of a quick little pop. Came right back on down. Nothing just yet at 8 o'clock. Nothing just yet at 8 o'clock to kind of open on up and get the next wave of buying volume. Nothing just yet. PLUR still kind of the best play. My favorite press release was this one, though. You know, when we have presents new data demonstrating significantly improvements. That's a good press release. It's just, again, not a super small stock. It's $494. So it's just a little bit too big, as you guys know. But other than that, I think we're pretty good. We do have, again, you know, what do we have here? New data coming on up on phase 2 on its annual meeting. Just so a heads on up, whenever I have the word meeting, I always put it in red. Like whenever you have an upcoming meeting, whenever you have potential results, like I have a whole list of red words that I really don't care about. Potential, that doesn't mean anything. Upcoming, we want results now, not in the future. Offering, usually not good when you add more shares to the public. Meeting, oh, we have a meeting. It doesn't matter right now at this moment. You know what I mean? Guys, PLUR, as I've been talking about, still again stock that's moving on up, now up 16%. Leading players back fund PLUR, food and agriculture. So it says enters a strategic collaboration across Asia. So we do have right now, if you open this on up, does again talk about a strategic move, but it seems like PLUR is kind of the best play. It doesn't seem like it's going crazy though. But I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's too choppy. It's nothing too big right now, nothing too crazy just yet over at the 8 a.m. press release wave at this moment. IFRX, that was one from around 7:30. It's trying to move itself on up. And I think we're all good then. All right, awesome. So right now here, team, we do not have any sort of big rips and runs. Let's double check NRXP. Guys, NRXP just came out with a press release a little bit later. Let's see if this one starts getting some hype. You guys can see right here, NRXP right here announces first in Florida initiation of one depression treatment in partnership with AMPA Health. So they are working on treatments of depression and working on a partnership with another company. So that one just came on out, top of the board right here. NRXP, 3-star press release, does have treatment, does have the word partnership. Let's see if NRXP can maybe get a little buying volume. So again, not every press release is going to go on a massive spike. Let's understand that, guys. Not every press release will go on a big time rip and run, but it's about limiting our options. We've talked about this before in the past. It's very difficult to wake up every single morning and to say, hey, Deck, what's going to be the best play? Well, again, there are 10,600 options. For us to say there's 10,600 options, what is the best stock for us to get ourselves involved in? Hey, good luck. We have no idea. So guess what we do? We make the float. Right? We have to actually, you know, if we say, what do we do? Well, first off, we got to understand we only care about stocks with news. News equals the big time breakouts. That's what, again, happens here. That's why GLTO is up 258%. That's why IFRX is up 87%. That's why COGT is up 86%, because these are the stocks that have some reason for you to buy them. People buy stocks that have a reason for them to buy. Press releases are reasoning. So again, what do? We filter these on out by, again, let's look for stocks that are inside that low float area that goes crazy, 0 to 20 million. Now, again, we're only getting, let's say, a few hundred plays a day, not 10,000 plays a day. Now, let's also filter them out by the best keywords. Let's filter them out by, again, the star ratings. And this is how we can find plays so quickly. So we can either look at the news scanner, or we can wait until, again, the news alerts pops up over here as well, so that we have the easiest answer. Now, let's actually go back here, team. I always like to just start off my day very simple. Every single morning, for anyone who does not know, my morning prep is going through the news alerts, going down to the bottom, and then just kind of reading upwards. I like to say to myself, what were Friday's top gainers? I like to always think back, what were the plays that were spiking the biggest, the strongest, the craziest on Friday? Because those could easily start spiking once again. Number one, MSGM and BKYI. Let's just see if these plays are still in play going into today. So we do have MSGM. MSGM stock has gone from $2, spiked up to $5, back down to $3. Do I really need this play at this moment? Unfortunately, no. BKYI. BKYI, could this one be holding up its gains? BKYI, stock went from 60 cents up to $1.40. Now it's back down to 70 cents. Sometimes, not always, but sometimes there are going to be stocks that have a spike, have a gap up, have another spike, have a gap up, and those are ones that you want to be aware of for that continuation breakout. Okay? Little heads up. Why is the market moving up at this time? Well, government shutdown is coming on down to an end. For anyone who does not realize or anyone who does not know, the government has been shut down for nearly 45 days now. It's the 40th day, the longest in American history, surpassing the 35-day 2018-2019 shutdown. So basically, team, for anyone who does not know, little heads on up, I just heard the word phase, so I just want to take a look. CMND successfully completed first coherent treatment in FDA brew phase 1, phase 2. This one might get some hype, guys, CMND. And again, I heard the voice alert. I just want to see this one could start spiking. Everyone just be aware of CMND. Not getting that crazy hype just yet, but I heard a voice alert go out, where it reads it. I know you guys can't hear it, but I can hear it on my end. So I just wanted to be aware of this. But next thing, the government's been shut down. So why, again, is the government shut down? Is the government really shut down? Well, this part, when we can't have an agreement on a funding bill, guess what? The government shuts down until an agreement can happen. So it's been shut down technically for the last 45 days, which just throws things out of whack. Now, obviously, people are going to Capitol Hill. They're doing their jobs. Yes, yes, yes. But we are having that kind of frozen period where us as the public, for us as investors, don't really know how much we're going to be funding or how much we're going to be spending. Now, again, Trump's talking about giving $2,000 away to every American. We need some clarity. Sometimes economic data such as CPI results or PPI results are going to be delayed or we're not going to know them. So we definitely want to have the government working, operating. We want it, again, going smoothly. And that's been one of the reasons as well, as if we take a look over on the S&P 500, that the S&P 500 has been fading and falling for like the last 2 weeks because of the uncertainty. We're saying, oh, wow, things are uncertain. We don't know what's going to be happening next. So the SPY has gone from 690 all the way back down to 663, getting a $30 drop, basically giving back what we made in October. And now we're getting a bounce play off that 50-day moving average. Why is that? Because optimism. Optimism. Hey, is Trump really sending $2,000 for every American? Optimism, such as, hey, are we going to, with that optimism here, are we going to have the government start opening back on up, right? So things like that are going to be very optimistic that are leading towards the hype. Traders, heads on up. Best growth stocks of 2025. For anyone saying, Deck, what are the best plays so far in 2025? These are some of the most popular. IREN, Oklo, CIFR, Open, NBIS, EOS, MP, QBTS, Hood, ASTS, QS, PL, SIM, JMIA, MU. Now, traders, you know what's very interesting? These are some of the best plays of 2025. Does anyone know where I'm going to go with this? Most of these have earnings today. I'm pretty sure OKLO has earnings today. I'm pretty sure ASTS has earnings today. Robinhood just came out with their earnings. I'm pretty sure NBIS has earnings today. Let's actually double check this real quick. If I scroll on up, we do have ASTS. He has earnings tonight. We have RGTI has earnings tonight, which is RGTI is a quantum computing play. We have Big Bear AI, very popular kind of meme stock as well. Earnings tonight. CoreWeave, which again works with NVIDIA, earnings tonight. We have Beyond Meat, earnings tomorrow. OKLO, OKLO, earnings tomorrow. So these are some big earnings tomorrow where they are at this time some of the top growth plays of 2025. So everyone look at this list right here. Go over to the news alert so you guys are all set. Now you guys also have these two lists. Look at this, guys. This is good information. Best performing stocks in the S&P 500 year to date. Everyone right here, take a little screenshot. These are the best performing stocks on the S&P 500. Now, not every company, there's 10,000 plays. Only 500 of them are on the S&P 500. WDC, Hood, STX, MU, Palantir, these are the best performing plays of 2025 so far. Now, you can also see, again, best performing stocks in the S&P 500 over the last 5, 10, 15, and 20 years. Guys, look how crazy this is. So if you look at over the last 5 years, NVIDIA was the #2 best play behind SMCI Supermicrocomputer. Over the last 10 years, NVIDIA was the best play. Over the last 15 years, NVIDIA was the best play. Over the last 20 years, NVIDIA was the best play. Isn't it kind of crazy? Over the last 20 years, NVIDIA has been dominant as the #1 best stock here, 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 here. Kind of crazy. But is there a play right now that's maybe, again, creeping up the leaderboard right here? Like, could again maybe VST be the next, again, 20-year best investment? Palantir be the next 20-year best investment? Could it be something again like down here, like PWR be the next, IBRK? Could that be the next big investment? So it's very interesting to kind of see this data, try to collect it, and then go from there. We also do have the worst performing stocks as well. Check that on out. But again, all things that we want to be aware of. We also talked about, again, the 50-month moving average, great bounce plays. We talked about the 50-day moving average, and again, the great bounce plays. We have talked about earnings right here. Notice, again, just going through this is getting me so prepped. I'm getting aware of what's happening. Previous top gainers, government shutdown, best movers, stocks with earnings, S&P 500 hot movers, growth stocks. What are the most, again, popular headlines on today on Wall Street? So again, talking about why the market's moving on up. And then, of course, we're starting to get into some of the hot press releases of today. GLTO this morning came on out at the press release of 7:02 a.m. GLTO is going to be the hot dog of today and definitely could start squeezing. 7:02 a.m. press release came on out. Again, by the time of 7:20, stocks up at $26. We also, again, MGTX. MGTX isn't a bad play whatsoever at all. MGTX does have a partnership with, again, Eli Lilly. And again, that's getting some hype over on this play. We also do have VERO, had a quick little spike, unfortunately started giving some gains on back. VERO spike, gave some gains on back, starting to get a little bit of a dip buy. Now, again, what did I talk to you guys earlier about before? What I talked about earlier is, again, you basically always have three options to make money on a play. You have money on the upside, money on the downside, or the bounce play. You can buy when hot news hits. You guys can short after the upper shadow forms, or you can buy for a dip. Same exact thing with GLTO. GLTO right here, you can buy again on the upside. You can short it back on down, or you guys could be looking for that potential dip, right? That's where, again, traders are going to be looking at and focused on. IFRX did have positive phase 2 data this morning. So again, if you guys take a look at IFRX, not anything that's too crazy or too fast, but IFRX is trying to slowly grind, slowly get that rip and run and start squeezing its way on up even higher. Then we also did have COGT, which did have positive phase 3 that, again, is now unhalted. And COGT went from $30 up to $42. So, again, COGT, positive phase 3 trials, just started getting that hype and that ripping and running. Going back to making sure that we are fully aware of every single press release that is worth noting. GLTO, we know about it, did have the acquisition. COGT, positive phase 3 trials, making sure that we're on top of that. IFRX, positive phase 2 trials, making sure that we're on top of that. And we also do have Move, which does have a merger, two companies combining into one. Just like, again, a stock acquiring, that company is now worth more. You're merging together. It is going to increase the price so that you guys are all set, ready to rock and roll. So that's what is so important. That's what, again, I want to make sure every single trader is aware of so that you guys are becoming better every single day and making sure that you guys are all ready to rock and roll. All right, awesome. Like, this is how I want to prepare. So right now, team, it's 8:15 in the morning. Let's make sure that we're all set. Dick, what are the key words to look for in a hot press release? So again, do this, guys. If you guys do not know, this will be very helpful. Click again the keyword tab, and then go to download keyword list, and you guys can click it download keyword list, which is right behind me right there, and then you guys will have a great list of right here of what you guys want to be focusing on. So can I zoom out of this a little bit? Yes. So here's, again, a great list. So this is just kind of give you like a starting. When you come out with positive endpoints, it brings in hype, it brings in momentum. When you have primary endpoints, when you have a statement from the CEO, like these sort of things lead to big time spikes and rips and runs. But again, 3-star words: positive, significant, demonstrates, treatment, drug trials, agreement, partnership, collaboration, improvements, increases, demonstrates, significance, agreements, partnerships, collaboration, success, billion, award, importance, survival, reached, goal, right? FDA receives. These are all things that you guys want to be focusing on. So what I did is I just take the 3-star and 4-star words right here. And when you take the 3-star and 4-star words, make those the majority of your main keywords. So again, I always like to look for like the 3-star words here. And that's where I know a lot of the hot plays, if we're talking about successfully has treatment in its phase trials, or again, if we're demonstrating, like these are the ones that have the best chance of going on a big time spike. I also do have the word quantum because quantum was really hot like 2 months ago. I'm actually going to take the word quantum off right here just because it's not doing as much for me. I'm also going to take off the word robotics right here because I really don't need that. Remember, I would rather have a clear cut, easy scanner. But the thing is, team, let's just imagine here, okay? Just, the reason why this helps us so much is because when things start getting very hot, we can be aware of them right away. Like for instance, guys, let's imagine quantum stocks start getting extremely hot again. Let's imagine quantum plays start taking on off. So what we have right here is like HOLO. Talks about unlocking quantum codes of time and systems. So if you guys, again, let's imagine quantum plays start going crazy, like AI went crazy. We always want to be able to have the keyword feature here, because if I do the word quantum, let's just, again, put it into whatever. Here's quantum, put it into a little money sign. Let's change this color into the color purple. Now, once I press OK, watch what this does to this press release right here. I press OK, and guess what? Now, every single press release that has the word quantum will, again, show up in purple with that little money bag right here, so I never miss it. So whatever is the hot trend that's going on, hey, maybe that's gold, maybe that's quantum, maybe that's rockets in the space race, maybe that's drug trials. Always, again, kind of be aware so that you guys can add your keywords so that you guys don't miss any sort of hot press release, so that you guys are all set, ready to go. Make sense? All right, awesome. So let's get ready for that 8:30 press release wave. Let's make sure every single person is on top of that, and let's make sure that every single trader is all set. Now, 8:30 is right around the corner. Number one, though, guys, if you guys want Fox Runner, the same exact scanner that I'm showing, teaching you guys all this amazing stuff, go ahead, type in the word Foxy, and you guys will be able to get 30% off. So if you guys go on over there right now, type in, again, Fox Runner, type in the word Foxy, you guys will get a free 30-day pass and 30% off. And again, their mobile app is coming out, I believe, like this week. So that's going to be absolutely great. Make sure you guys go sign up. That's what I use every single morning. Number two, guys, if you guys want all my charting right here, you want COGT, top gainers, top losers, pre-market movers, everything I use throughout the day, that is over on Trade Ideas. You guys do get, again, a 15% off. If you guys go ahead, type in the word Dekmar Trades, you guys will get all my charts 15% off, so that you guys are all set. If you guys want my broker who allows me to short every single day, I short all these plays, I get shorts on all of them. They are absolutely fantastic. Cobra Trading. You guys have probably seen Cobra has been doing like the most incredible bundle ever. They've been, again, giving Trade Ideas, Fox Runner, and again, all their trades 100% away for free, and DOS platform. Make sure you guys go check that out. And you guys do get, that's until the end of the year, and then you get all 50% off commissions for life. You guys can also, if you guys are brand new, make sure you guys are all set. Join the Tradecaster community. This is where I live stream every single day. You guys will be all set, ready to rock and roll. And then on top of that here, team, where am I, again, doing all my prop firm trading? I do my prop firm trading over on One Stop Prop. So you guys will be all set. And again, these are all things that I'm posting over in the YouTube chat right now. So if you guys are watching over on Twitter or StockTwits, I am posting everything over on the YouTube chat right now, all my links for you guys to get all those discounts. So make sure you guys go check them on out. But again, it's Fox Runner, Trade Ideas, Cobra Trading, and then Tradecaster.com, where I live stream every single day. So make sure you guys go check those links on out, because they are going to give you massive discounts. Make sure you guys do it. But I know you guys may be watching on StockTwits. You guys may be watching on X right now. But again, make sure you guys go watch and check those on out, copy and paste them. You guys will be all good to go. But man, I'm excited about today. I'm excited about this week. Right now, again, you guys can see I am chilling with a $5,702 profit, and this is going to change when the market opens on up. When the market opens on up, it will then calculate the gap up. This is, again, $5,702 by the end of right here at 670. I might be up nearly $10,000 on this day here. So again, this might be a $10,000 day here. Now, again, what's so great about this is over on One Stop Prop, for the first month, you do get a 90-10 split. What does that mean? Whatever you make, you keep 90% of it. What you get out, or what they keep, is 10%. So if I make 10 grand today and I say, hey, I'm good, I get $9,000 sent to me. One Stop Prop keeps $1,000. So it's basically like that mutual partnership, where it's like, hey, we give you money, go ahead and make money. It's 90-10 split. You make a ton of money, you keep it, but we also get our cut. That's how, again, a lot of these prop firms work, where, again, they obviously have to get a cut. If they're giving you big money for you to go trade, they also going to get a cut as well. So again, prop firms give me money to go ahead and trade. I'm going to go help that prop firm out. I'm going to make them a shit ton of money. So again, right now, I'm hoping that I turn into this into like a $10,000 day. This could be a $9,000 profit for myself by the end of this week, which is going to be absolutely great and absolutely awesome. So I'm really pumped about that right here. Let's go through the top gainers. GLTO starting to squeeze its way on up. Deck, are you guys going to be having some Black Friday sales? Absolutely here, traders. Absolutely. Guys, can I ask you guys a question as well? Who enjoys when I jump on in pre-market? Who enjoys when, again, we go over all this information? I think, again, stock to it. So I'm going to ask everyone. I want to, if I can, and again, I'll ask them privately as well. I would love to be able to do this show, as well, maybe a Wednesday or Thursday. How about we start adding another day to the calendar? If, again, we maybe get, let's go with it right now. Maybe if we get 100 likes on, again, the YouTube stream at this moment, 100 thumbs up, maybe that'll encourage them for me to be able to go live twice a week, maybe 3 times a week, get the people going, give them what they want, because every single day I want to be able to bring the energy. I want to get you guys excited. I want to be able to go over step by step, making sure you know exactly what to do in the markets with your skincare routine, making sure we're giving you guys weightlifting programs. Lower the fucking shoulder, baby. Let's go. Smash that thumbs on up right here and right now if you guys haven't yet. And if you guys don't, I'm going to find you. I will just tell you that right now. I mean, I try to ask. I'm very polite. I'm very polite. At the same time, I've asked very calm, but I will say this right here, right now. If you do not hit that thumbs on up, if you do not subscribe to the channel, I will find you. I will sneak inside your windows. And okay, hold on. Okay, maybe I don't think I can even say that stuff, but I'm polite. All right, here, traders. Let's see what we do. Let's get ourselves, again, jacked on up on this day. $8.23 in the market. $8.23 in the market. GLTO still trying to squeeze just a little bit. GLTO definitely going to be our main stock to watch. Let's run through the top gainers really quickly. We got GLTO, top stock. COGT, spike starting to fade. IFRX. And again, these are all like positive phase 3 press releases. SCLX, so basically spike and dump, SCLX. IFRX so far, spike trying to hold up its gains, not bad. COGT, spike, again, trying to hold up its gains. And GLTO right here, spike and trying to hold up its gains. Right now, if you're taking a look over on GLTO, we basically have, again, $16.50 support. We have $20 top resistance. So those are the plays that, of course, we are going to be waiting and watching for. Other than that, let's just cross-reference this right here. GLTO did have the acquisition of another company. We do have COGT has positive phase 3 results. We have IFRX with positive phase 2 results. Okay? BNAI also trying to work itself on up, has a $5 million AI licensing partnership with Latin America. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? All right, team. We are fully prepared, fully aware. We know exactly what's happening, exactly what's going on. Let's head on over here, though, for a second. Is there anything going on with CNBC we got to be looking at, we got to be aware of? Stock futures rise as plan to end shutdown starts moving through Congress. Treasury yields rise and investors hope government shutdown is nearing. Government shutdown could be headed as Senate passes first stage. Snap appeals court again rejects Trump's amid bin to food stamps and payment order. So basically, if you're saying, Deck, what's the news of like the world right now? Just the government shutdown coming down to an end. That's it. Government shutdown coming on down to an end. Deck, how's your AMPX trade doing? AMPX right now. I am in, as you guys know, at 1260. 1260, 500 shares. That means every single dollar it moves off of 1260, I make $500. So that's where I'm in on AMPX. Traders, do you guys remember what I talked about over on the S&P 500 today? Did we remember that, again, the S&P 500 at this time? Let's remind me later. Get me out of here. Never remind me. Get out. We went into full detail a little bit ago, going over how awesome and how great the 50-month moving average is, and also, again, just sometimes the 50-day moving average is. Now, while this works on the S&P 500 and blue chips, it could also work on, again, great swing trades as well. Because take a look over on AMPX right here. AMPX, notice where the perfect dip buy was every time. 200-day moving average, 200-day moving average, 200-day moving average, 200-day moving average, then 50-day moving average, 50-day moving average, 50-day moving average. If you got a bounce play off the, let's say 11.10, if you got a bounce play off $11, you have the best possible entry out there. I mean, you're getting filled absolutely beautifully, absolutely perfectly, right? So again, AMPX getting that perfect little dip buy and bounce and starts moving its way on up. Right now, again, I'm sitting at 1260. And what am I ultimately looking for? I'm looking for that $15 break. And again, basically blue skies ahead. So that's what I would like to see. That's kind of like where I'm at, you know, looking for that one to kind of continue to spike, continue to rip, and continue to run. Now, the big thing that we had a few things. Let me go back to the Amprius. I believe there was, yeah, look at this. 2 days ago, there's a good press release that came on out. And this doesn't, it says exclusive. U.S. Army is to buy 1 million drones in major acquisition ramp up. Okay. So guys, this is something I really like about, you know, my play that I'm in, right? If we take a look on AMPX, it says U.S. Army is to buy 1 million drones in major acquisition ramp up. That's incredible. Now, why is that? What does the Army, what does the military use for their drone batteries? Well, for anyone who does not know, we use right here AMPX. AMPX is the number 1 leader in drone battery suppliers. Performance powered by silicone lithium batteries. Groundbreaking technology that pushes boundaries to innovation. So you can see they already work with the military. Secures a repeat $35 million from, again, UAS manufacturers. You guys could see how, again, their conventional cells only can last 2 hours. When you guys use AMPX, it lasts for nearly 4 hours. We can see, again, why this is so important, because their number 1 thing is powering military drone batteries so that they are, again, doing what? They're saying, hey, you know what, military drone batteries, we want to have it out there for 4 hours. You know how big it matters in war? On the battlefield, that imagine you're out in the battlefield and you're doing battlefield things, guys. You know, you're taking out the enemy, and all of a sudden you hear beep, 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 low battery. And now you got to retrace everything all the way back on. What if you could stay out there for double the amount of time as, again, your enemy? That's going to be a massive thing for you, right? Absolutely massive. So we want to make sure that you guys understand that. Now, you know what is also a huge thing is Anduril, right? What did they just do? Take a look at this. Anduril's unmanned jet Fury makes first flight. Anyone see that new movie? Not new anymore, but that old movie, you know, Top Gun, the newest one. Now, what is the newest one in the Top Gun? Basically, they're like, hey, you know, the new Top Gun Maverick, hey, you guys are a dying breed. Why do they say you're a dying breed? Because the fighter jets of the future, they don't have someone flying it. It's all remote controlled back from base. Also, the fighter jets in the future are also EV powered, aka have a battery. We want to have it smaller. We want to have it more nimble. We want to be able to have it last. We don't want to have hundreds of gallons of fuel behind it. We don't want to, again, have someone's life in danger. If, again, that goes in a war and we lose an American, we lose a citizen. So all, again, the future right here is unmanned aerials, aka batteries, aka over here. So we want to make sure that we understand that. That's why, again, I like AMPX so much. That's my long-term investment, as you guys know, for about the next year. Little heads on up. It is 8:30 right now. Let's go ahead. Let's see if we have any sort of big ripping, running, spiking, climbing, and see what we have. We do have right now NNVC has approval. NNVC has approval for phase 2 trials and treatment. Doesn't mean they have it just yet. Take a look right here. NIVF. Guys, NIVF. Up 24% right now, announces $2 million share repurchase program. So you guys can see $2 million share repurchase program over on NIVF, starting to get a little bit of hype and ripping and running at this time. So it's sometimes as simple as that. You see the press release, the insiders are repurchasing, you know, a $2 million program. And again, that's leading towards this hype. That's leading towards a little bit of this ripping and running, and leading towards a little bit of this spiking. So traders, at the end of the day, news equals breakouts. if you want to become a master of getting involved in stocks early, if you want to become a master of getting in before stock goes on a massive spike, you got to be able to find the news before the majority of people do that. Does that make sense, everyone? I want to make sure that that's perfectly clear so that you guys saying, yeah, okay, hey, I got to change my mindset a little bit. I got to do things a little differently. So NIVF. Now, again, I've actually noticed that repurchase has been a very nice, solid word. Like when insiders repurchase public stock, common stock usually goes on a big time rip and run. So I'm actually going to add that as a keyword. So that's going to be repurchase here. Let's again have it as repurchase, money bags in purple. And whenever the word repurchase comes on out now, at least I'm going to be aware of it, because again, NIVF does have repurchase as a keyword, but it doesn't stand out to me. So there you go. Now it stands out. So again, repurchase has been, again, a good solid word recently. So let's add that as a keyword for us so that we just don't miss it again in the future. So NIVF, quick little spike. Again, a little bit of a smaller play, a little bit of a, not as much right here, but we'll see NIVF, how much, momentum could possibly head on up. But traders, going into today, I think the number one play every single trader should be focusing on, should be looking at, is GLTO. GLTO is still up 350%. GLTO is still the number one top gainer on the day. GLTO is the stock that the majority of traders are focused on right here. So, guys, GLTO, if you want my scanner settings, up gappers, down gappers, my charts, every single person, if you guys go purchase trade ideas, I will give you my scanner codes so that you guys are all set, ready to go. So again, I just dropped a link to trade ideas, which is the charting right here, so that if you guys purchase them, email me your receipt. I will give you my scanner code so my scanners look exactly like yours. Okay? You guys will be all set, ready to get after it, see what's going to be coming on up here next. Hey, traders, I'm going live over on tradecaster.com. We have our live community right here getting after it. I hope you guys are excited. Come on over to Tradecaster, sign on up. Let's get ready for an amazing day ahead. And StockTwits Nation, as always, thank you so much. Make sure you guys follow me on StockTwits. If you guys don't, hit that follow button at Dekmar Trades, and we are all set, ready to go. Hey, thank you so much. I love you guys. I appreciate you. Thank you. Enjoy your week, and hopefully I see you guys back here very soon, going live on Tradecaster in just a few minutes. I love you guys. I'll see you then. Thank you.